afternoon, Mzansi, and welcome to Afternoon Express. I'm Palisa Tembe, and we hope that you've been enjoying your youth day. Now, we also know one man that's having a great day is our Springbok captain, Sia Kolisi, who turns 29 years old today. So happy birthday, Sia. Happy birthday indeed. And we can't wait to chat to you and Rachel on Friday. Now, while today is set aside as an opportunity to reflect upon the painful injustices that took place 44 years ago, we also celebrate the spirit and the resilience of the youth of 1976. So today, we have a show celebrating youth excellence and prosperity. We've asked you on social media on a day that set out to commemorate the efforts of young South Africans back in 1976. We want to know, who are some of your favorite young people changing the world? I'm looking forward to reading all of your comments. Make sure you use that hashtag Afternoon Express. But for now, let's find out what's cooking in the kitchen.
Hey, Bali, today we're using our fighting spirit to give you a delicious, tasty Hasselbeck potato, but it's triple cooked. So we're not just baking, we're not just frying, we're doing it all 3 weeks. Today we're going to be boiling, frying and baking.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm making a butternut Hasselbeck.
Oh,
also
wow.
a Hasselbeck, but a butternut, and I'm using some cinnamon, some sugar, butter.
That's a perfect recipe for Youth Day.
Yes.
And anyone that wants to get involved, please join us. Go onto the website, get the recipe details, and let's get cooking.
She was once a humble young girl with big dreams, and now she's living her dream. Her journey into the world of acting saw her travel far and wide, honing her performing skills on international shores. Upon her return a few years ago, she hit the ground running, securing theatre roles, a popular commercial, and feature appearances on local television series. Now, having bagged her biggest role yet on SABC1's Uzalo, Nombulelo Mhlongo joins me to chat all about her journey. Welcome to the loft, Nombulelo.
Hey, how are you?
Girl, I'm good. Congratulations. I mean, this is what I love to see.
Thank you.
Incredibly
Thank
talented
you.
women doing big things.
Hey, it's all by the grace of God. It's really by the grace of God.
Nombulelo Sisi, now you're a full-on thespian, having formerly trained in the performing arts. And now you're also wearing multiple hats in the industry. Please unpack this for us. And who is Nombulelo Mhlongo?
I love the theater. I've always watched television, I guess. I used to watch and see the city lights and see everything happening outside of the small village that I grew up in. And I told myself, I want to be there. I want to be in those places. And I think growing up, there used to be a show called Fame. I don't know if you remember it. And I used to watch it every single week. And the moves, the dancers, the musicians, you know, the thespians, the monologues. And I used to watch and be like, I want to do that. I believe that I can do that.
Talk to me about how and when this passion for acting got ignited.
When I got to high school, out of primary school, I decided that I want to be a thespian. So the high school that I went to initially, they had drama, but they had, you know, like the normal, ordinary, basic drama that they have in schools. And I spoke to my parents and I asked them, and I said, I don't know if it's possible, it's something that you can afford or do, but I've been doing my research and I know that in Gauteng, there are schools, specialized arts high schools. So I started looking and I found NSA, which is the National School of the Arts, in Johannesburg, and I found Pro Arte Alphen Park, and I auditioned for both schools, and I got taken by both schools, but I decided to go to Pro Arte because my parents felt like there was family in Pretoria. So I went to Pro Arte Alphen Park, but so I was a bit shocked. I had been, you know, shielded. I was in a school in Abandabangane, and I ended up moving to Abbott's College, where they also specialized in dramatic arts and other specialized crafts in the industry. Now, after high school, I still said, I believe that I can be the best of the best in the world. So for me to get to that level, I need to go to the best school in the world. And I looked for the best school in the world, and I found it in Los Angeles, the American Academy of Dramatic Arts.
You featured on a few television series. However, Uzalo bagged your biggest role yet. Now, how has the experience changed your life? And what has this meant for your acting career?
It's it's really been a life-changing experience. I was actually quite speechless when I got the call and I was offered the role by Stained Glass TV. I was on Ifalake before that. They had cast me for a role on Ifalake, which is also a Stained Glass production. So, and they really liked my work and my work ethic. So honestly, when they gave me the privilege of playing a character in a role like Unomcebo, who is, I think quite a complex character. When you watch her, she looks gentle, but then when you think about other things that she's gone through, it makes you realize how complex of a character that she is. It's been such an amazing experience, and I think the people that I've had the privilege of working with, people like Usiyabonga Shiba and people like Umam Baby Tele, they've really welcomed me with such warm arms, and they push me, and challenge me every single day. So it's really great to be working with people with really great energy that you can bounce off of.
Now, as someone who's lived in the United States, what's your take on the local events around the Black Lives Matter uproar that's currently taking place?
I think for one, as a person who did live in the United States, because I lived in LA and in New York, and what I noticed is that more than anything in America, I did notice that marginalized people and I guess lower class people are not treated the same way that the middle class and the upper class are treated. When you walk into a store, especially with the police, automatically, if your accent is off and a police officer stops you, you panic. Like, even if you didn't do anything wrong, like, you're already panicking, trying to see, oh my gosh, like, you don't want to say the wrong thing. You need to check yourself. You need to basically dumb yourself down.
Sure.
Like, you have to dumb yourself down every single time because you don't want your emotions getting the better of you. You actually cannot, you almost can't afford to be offended, because you don't know what your offense and you retaliating in any way or other could actually affect your day.
Absolutely.
So, and I think part of the reason why we see so many other people and not just Black people and African American people protesting is because they are all experiencing it, all the lower class people, and in minority vele, in America, and a lot of things have not changed.
Nombulelo, and on that note, what you're speaking about right now, as South Africans, we can all resonate, knowing our history and how we've been able to move on from where we come from. Now seeing it trickle over into a global issue is definitely something we need to lend our voices and our attention to. Thank you so much, Nombulelo, for speaking out on this and being the talented star that you are.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh, we definitely will, and we wish you a very happy, merry Youth Day, Siswam. Cheers. Without a doubt, we're sure to see more of Nombulelo on our TV screens, and trust me, we're not complaining.
Oh my word, anyone that knows me knows that I love seeing women go for their dreams, and it's just inspiring to see how much work she's done and how far she's come.
I know, from a small town to Los Angeles.
Look at her now.
Wow.
She's actually an inspiration for me right now. Pale, what do you say?
I mean, ladies, you are literally speaking about the SMQ today on social media. We're asking everyone, which young people are changing the world? Which people are inspiring you? And I'm loving all of the answers, but there's a specific answer that truly did touch my heart. We've got someone named Shirley who was there in the 1976 march. And Shirley says, "Hi, Afternoon Express. I was part of the 1976 march. I was going to a school in Soweto called Bopedi Bapedi in high school. Hector gave us water to wash, I suppose, the gas that went into our eyes. We marched until they shot Hector. We scattered. Me and my friends ran to the bus station. It was hectic. Now, it really does sound hectic. I mean, Shirley, shout out to you and everyone that was marching along with you. We celebrate you and we thank you because we are now because you were. If I head back over to social media, though, Indipile says, #Afternoon Express, it has to be Thuso Mpetu. She was hailed by Vogue as one of the rising promising stars. She is changing the belief that girls can't run the world and make it on a global platform. Look, Indipile, I agree with you. I love myself some Thuso as well, ladies. I don't know if you agree.
I agree with that fully. I'm actually a huge fan of hers. I believe in what she's doing. And if I could give her my number and say, you're my friend.
On that note, I see that Tumi also has her Bantu knots. They're celebrating all things young people. Now, keep connecting with the youth. It helps us put a finger on the pulse of the world. So, coming up, we connect with Hectic 99 presenters, Misha Solanga, and of course, Cooks. Looking forward to that conversation. Today marks the 44th anniversary of the Youth Uprising of 1976. The day 16th of June 1976 remains a significant day in our history for the country. It's now the year 2020 though, and great strides have since been made in shaping the future of our youth. But what does June 16 mean to the youth of today? Hectic 99 presenters Misha Solanga and Cooks now join us to chat more about this. Happy Youth Day, SABC fam. How are you guys doing? Now, you guys are fairly young at 22 and 25, and you were born in the Rainbow Nation. So with that said, what is your understanding of Youth Day?
Growing up, I used to think that it was a day that a young boy died, which was Hector Peterson. But through isikolo and seeing abantu abadala bethetha ngayo okanye ukuva bona, I understood that it was a day that young people came together for one reason, and that is to change the situation that South Africa was currently in at that time, because besifundiswa ngelanguage esingazi-understandiyo, and also we were taught to assume general jobs, as they say, but singabizi leaders. So now I understand that.
What the youth of 76 did for us now to give us the opportunities that we have, you know, to learn in languages that we understand, our home languages even, and to level the playing field as it pertains to education, because that was the issue, is that black people were given an inferior education to that of white people, but now we can say that we have a level playing field.
I quite like that, Misha, thinking of today as the day that people decided to level the playing field. Now, why do you think that it's important to keep the memory of this day alive, particularly for generations to come?
You know, I think it's really important important for us to remember that there was a time where young people didn't have access to the things that we have access to right now. Because I believe access is one of the most important things, because when we don't have, access and exposure to things, we can't dream, we can't, become television presenters, we can't become influencers in a positive light. So I think it's a very important day to remember.
I also think it is very much important to keep the memory of this day alive, to serve as a reminder to future generations of the battles that we have fought as the past generations, because it's not just the generation of 1976, because even us now, we fought in 2015 for FISMA's war, and today in 2020 we are fighting COVID-19. So I feel like it should serve as a reminder, and they should draw energy from that so that they can fight battles that they will be facing in the future.
Now, as two individuals with quite a powerful voice on a public platform, what are some of the greatest lessons and qualities the youth of today can take from the youth of 1976?
I feel like the greatest lesson that they should learn is that they should learn to persevere, because as much as things happened June 16, 1976, the uprising brewed days before or months before it was June 16. So I feel like they should learn to be patient, and when you do something, it's not just going to happen overnight. You must make sure that you work hard to make sure that it comes through.
We're facing so many things right now in our country, with the fight against gender-based violence. That's a fight that we are still facing right now with the upcoming cases that we've had recently. And I think it's important for us to realize that no one is going to fight for us, and I don't mean physically fighting and inciting violence, but standing up out there and standing for what is right. That's something we need to do for ourselves.
We need to make our own voices strong enough to be heard. I know someone once said that just the moment you start speaking, although your voice is trembling and nervous and scared, the moment you start talking, you'll never be able to cap yourself and control yourself. You'll just start finding the strength every single day. Now, what do you both think that some of the youth of this country should be most proud of, considering the journey having traveled from 1976 to date?
I feel like we should be proud that we have rights that can protect us, because we do have the right of freedom of speech, and using social media and freedom of speech, we have managed to sway a lot of conversations and managed to bring change in South Africa, especially when it comes to current issues that we're facing now, which is gender-based violence, because a lot of people are voicing their voices through social media, and a lot of people are being aware of the wrongs that they are doing, or maybe they can teach other people through what they have seen on social media. So our voices, we are using it, so we must be proud of that.
Because it's Youth Month and it's Youth Day, we have a real strong issue of youth unemployment. And the thing that I'm really proud of is that we have we have that spirit, we have that energy of getting up and making it work for ourselves and not depending on the government to make things happen, because we've seen that it's taking a while. So I'm really proud, and I think we can all be proud of, as a youth collective, that we are, we're innovators, we're creatives, we're making things happen. So that's something to be proud of.
Talking about keeping that same energy, what's your Youth Day message for young people out there?
My Youth Day message for young people, I think, ultimately would be to know yourself, know where you come from, so that you can know where you are going. And I think let us not allow things around us to sway us in our journey in becoming who we were created to be. There's just so much happening, and there's so many, things stifling our voice and prohibiting us from becoming these amazing powerhouses that we can be. But we need to rise above that and persevere and just carry on. That's my message.
Cooks, as your name suggests, Spamandla, Osiphe Amandla. What is your Youth Day message to the youth out there?
Mandilipha amandla, mandisha amandla, mntasendlini ndifuna ukuthi mna unkwayekeli imeko okuyo ukubana wena ikutshintsha-tshintsha okanye ikubhidise indlela ekumela uyayihamba, because unamandla, and kwaye unamandla emntu esendlini ungakwazi ungasebenzisa loo mandla ukuze wena uphumelele. So soloko uyazi bana wena abantu bayakuthanda, abantu bokokwenu bayakuthanda, engoku suthatha kuthiwa yintoni, ndifuna le kuyithetha nje kamandi kubana jonga ungalahli imbongo uphoyiyane. Inyanisulumisho esithi bana yazi apho usuka khona ukuze uzoyazi indlela yakho le uzawuhamba.
Oh, beautifully said by this incredible two. You guys are just such a shining light to the youth around South Africa. We're definitely paying very close attention to your journey, not only in the entertainment industry, but that positive influence you're going to impact on everyone looking up to you as inspiration. Thank you so much, Misha and Cooks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bali.
Very nicely put by this dynamic pair. The youth are the future and custodians of our country, and it is of utmost importance that we equip them with the necessities to strive and, of course, continue to build our beautiful nation.
I love hearing the voices of our youth. It's such an inspiration. You know, they sound like adults, like getting to know yourself, you know your heritage.
So
Isn't it
true,
fantastic?
so true. But I think we can't speak about pioneers without speaking about Zozibini, our Miss South Africa. She, for me, right now, is one of the biggest inspirations for SA. Melissa?
Yeah, ladies, you know, on that topic of inspiring youths of South Africa, people that are truly changing the world and making sure that we pay attention, we've asked everyone on social media who was their pick. So we found out now that Mabato, and Mabato says, #Afternoon Express, Botlale Boikanyo. She is the South African poet and actress. Since she started poetry, many young people are also doing what she's doing. #Happy Youth Day. What a beautiful message. You know, sometimes a lot of people overlook poets.
True, very true. And it's very interesting to see how Boikanyo has brought something back that used to be a dead industry, because people never even used to do poetry anymore.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. I actually should look her up and see what she's all about.
We also have Uvan Trisha here, and Uvan Trisha here says, shout out, a huge salute. Cheers to Peter Hectorson Matung with those praising hands going up. No, look, I think everyone right now is saluting Peter Hectorson as we do Hector Peterson as we do every single Youth Day. But of course, you know, we're taking note to other professions and other industries. So let's keep the conversation going online. Let us know which youths of South Africa are truly changing the world and inspiring you. Now, are you ready to be absolutely inspired by the young minds in this beautiful country? Well, get excited, because coming up, we meet the young founder of Entle Babes Couture, or Entle Gebashe. Looking forward to that. Today we meet Entle Kebashe, who founded a fashion label called Entle Babes Couture at just 10 years old. It's a children's brand that specializes in custom-made African prints. We are joined by Entle and her business manager, slash mom, Desiree Kebashe, to chat to us more about how it all started and about how they're helping keep our healthcare workers safe and protected during the global pandemic. Good afternoon, ladies.
Hi, everyone.
You ladies are looking so beautiful. Now, Entle, please may you tell us more about how your fashion story started and more your journey. And what was the very first garment you made?
So I started by designing clothes for my dolls, and the first garment I made was a skirt and a top made from African prints.
Oh, Bageti. So it started with dolls. Mom, when did you notice that your daughter had an eye for fashion?
Well, she was very young. She was about 3. So I would see that whenever we go shopping for clothes, she would just make up outfits instead of just choosing one item, and actually choose also accessories to go with the outfits and the shoes. So it was just like, wow, okay. And it would actually match. And I was like, okay, so my child would definitely, she's a fashionista. So I wasn't surprised when she started trying to staple clothes or pieces of fabric to make skirts and tops and swimwear for her dolls. So it was just like, okay, maybe. Then I just realized that she's really, really, really into fashion.
She really is. Mom, Desiree, you are brave, girl. Because a lot of mothers don't allow their kids the creative freedom to dress themselves. Kutiwa we, she'll just put on a cape and go buy bread. So I'm glad that you trusted Entle with this. Now, Entle, what do you want people or your young clients, when they wear your garments, to feel once they put on one of your custom-made outfits?
I want them to feel like princesses and princes and to feel comfortable in the garments. And I just want them to feel excited and happy.
Feeling like the royalty that you are. Now, Mom, you must be super proud of Entle, who evidently has such a young and great mind with such bright vision. It's true that children model their parents. So what morals do you think that Entle has emulated from you that has made her into the creative, great thinking and confident woman that she is today?
Entle, obviously, you can see that she's grown so fast and she's done so much in such a short period of time and in such a young age. So what I have taught her through the journey is that to always stay positive and always express herself in whatever that she does, and she must not be afraid to be true to herself, because that's what would define her as a person, and that's how people would view her as a human being. So she knows that it's very important for her to have an identity as a person.
And taking that a step further, Desiree, I mean, Entle is still a kid, so she still needs to deal with the realities that every young person has to deal with, whether it's education and now, under the current circumstances, homeschooling. So how are you, as her mom and her business manager, able to find a balance when it comes to school and her career?
I help her in all that I could try and put my hand in. Whenever she's struggling, I try to make sure that us as a family, me, her dad, her brother, we're always just there to make sure that she doesn't feel the strain of doing both things at the same time. So we give her a lot of support.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys have been able to strike that balance. Mom, you spoke about the family as well, backing you. Obuti and Dad is also there supporting this entire structure. So what role do they play on a day-to-day basis?
So basically the dad makes sure that if we need to go and buy fabrics, we need to go to courier stuff. There's stuff that he's able to just errands that he runs for us. And he also does a lot of the graphic side of the business because he's a graphic designer. And the brother, funny enough, he's just an inspiration really, because he's more about, Entle, you need to do this. You know, he's more inspiring Entle to do more. Yeah, so we all try and just give her support in what she does.
And speaking about being an inspiration and a motivation, now we have to chat about the amazing work that you're doing to help take care and protect our healthcare and frontline workers. So please may you share your latest project.
Okay, so recently, since the lockdown, we've been doing the masks for just the public, And then also we try and distribute and manufacture and distribute masks to Alexandra Clinic, to the HIV department, counselors and nurses.
Now, Aintley, you make such beautiful and intricate, bright designs. One such design that you created was so bright it attracted bees. Tell us about this dress.
So I designed a ball gown. It had lots of colors and prints, and it looked very beautiful because I wanted to look like a princess.
And so much so that you decided to be the queen bee and bring the other bees all around you. What did you do? How did you fight them off?
So I was just walking around my school with my friends, and the bees would just come to me, and I would just either stand still or run away because it's so overwhelming.
Very overwhelming and very scary, I'm sure, but you're a brave girl, so you got this. Now, we heard that you once mentioned that kids used to bully you at school, and now they don't anymore. So what would you like to say to other young kids who also have experienced being bullied, and what words of encouragement do you have for them?
Just ignore the bullies. Don't mind them. If they try and start a fight, just walk away.
Very wise words there. If someone doesn't have something nice to say, they shouldn't say something at all. But if they happen to slip up and say something mean, just walk away. Be proud of who you are, be confident in who you are, and don't stoop to their level. Thank you so much, Entle, and thank you so much, Mama Desiree, for supporting this young black woman in the incredible work she does. It is Youth Day, so we're saying Happy Youth Day to all of the young, inspired entrepreneurs out there. Siyabonga. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Do you have a very striking business idea, much like Entle, that you started at a very young age? I want to find out more about it. Use the hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments.
Oh my word, what an amazing young queen. She's doing so well at such a young age. She's actually getting her legacy started so early, and it's so inspiring.
I wanted to design a dress for me. I want your bee dress, please.
Oh my gosh. Palisa, what
It's gorgeous.
Sorry, what are the people on social saying, darling?
Right, I mean, my mind is blown by Entle. The creativity and also the confidence to be able to follow your dream at such a young age isn't easy. So we've decided to ask you, who like Entle inspires you? Who is truly changing the world? We've got Lorna on social media, and Lorna says, hashtag Afternoon Express, my favorite person has to be Thando Opa, who made history by being the first woman with albinism on a Vogue cover. Now, Lorna, girlfriend, you are teaching me something new. I know and I love Utando, but I had no clue that she was the first one with albinism to be on a Vogue cover. Salute to her.
She's just an amazing woman, and we had her on the show.
No, she's a huge fan favorite here on Afternoon Express. But the fact that she keeps pushing these boundaries, I have to take my hat off. So let's keep the conversation going on social media. You know, as I keep scrolling up on your comments, we have Ulumka, who commented, hashtag Afternoon Express, Happy Youth Day. And we also have Ulupo. And Ulupo also said the same thing, you know, Happy Youth Day to everyone, especially to those who are there in the hard times of 1976. God bless them more than he did. They used those hashtags Afternoon Express with those prayer hands going up all the way. Let's keep the conversation going, South Africa. Now, during the current climate, it's important that the youth are properly educated on how to handle their finances. Coming up, we've got some excellent advice from FNB on how we can do this effectively. Mom and Dad, if you're watching, grab the little ones and come a little closer. Today we're looking at how we can start teaching our kids about money and, most importantly, how to manage it. Being good with money takes practice, so the sooner we start, the better. Here to tell us everything we need to know is Esther Ush, the product head at F&B Money Management. Welcome back to The Loft, Esther, and happy Youth Day.
Hey, great to be here, and hello moms and dads.
Indeed, hello moms and dads, but more importantly, hello little kids, because right now, you know, it is Youth Day in the month of June. So we want to celebrate all kids, but also educate them when it comes to money. So Esther, the culture of saving has never been a greater need than it is right now. So how important is it for parents to teach their children about the importance of money management?
No, absolutely. And you know, it's exactly, you hit the nail on the head. We've never been through a situation that we're going through at the moment. So you can imagine how much easier it would have been for people if they had sort of 3 months worth of saving to smooth these bumps over. So it's important to start instilling that culture of saving, that discipline. I hate using that word when it comes to kiddies, and I think kiddies hate it as well. That discipline of saving as early as possible. And you know, it's not a big concept. Saving could be $2, $5, $50, $20, something that's manageable for the little one. But start early rather than later.
Earlier on, we were speaking to Entle and her mom, Desiree, and she is making incredible designs for children. So we're seeing this entrepreneurial spirit. Obviously, I think mom had a lot to do with that and influencing her. So we see and we know that children are creatures of habit and they soak up everything around them. So what behavioral tips can we give parents to reflect on as to how they can better manage their money to potentially create better future children?
Yes, so absolutely. You know, kids are sponges. They are absolute sponges when it comes to knowledge, and they do what their parents do. So if their parents have a good relationship with money, then the kid is also going to have a good relationship with money. So again, it's that situation. The way that you deal and you save and you budget and you do all of those important things with money, that all automatically instills into the kid because they see and they emulate what their parents do. So great way to start doing the right thing for yourself. As a parent, it sets you up for the future, but you're actually starting to create the next generation of money managers by having your kids watch you and your relationship with money.
Oh, this conversation about money just gets me so excited, Esther. Now, are there ways that parents can make these lessons more practical for their kids?
So very important that when you're starting with this relationship, starting your kids out, is it's age appropriate. So you're not going to sit the 3-year-old and talk to them about repo rates and prime rates and all of that. So it's got to be very age appropriate. So the quickest one that you can do is you can, you know, for your younger guys, you're sort of below 6, say to them, let's have a jar. And then you can have, you know, as they do something in the house, be it, you know, feed the dogs or something like that, you can put some money in the jar so that they can physically see that money growing as they're starting to do what's supposed to. And then the older they get, the more you can start having those more, you know, age-appropriate discussions. When they hit 12, 13, start really making them do chores, pay them for chores so that they can see that instant gratification thing, and that you don't get anything for free, money for nothing.
Yeah.
So make sure that a relationship and understanding of where money comes from is instilled early on.
You know, Esther, speaking about working and chores and earning your way through life, even starting as a kid, we've got such inspirational young stars on the show who started earning at a very young age. So how important is it to start planning and budgeting as a family?
No, great. And I mean, hats off to those kids that have started. That, as you mentioned earlier, that entrepreneurial spirit, I really hope that they build a huge empire and that they're very successful in their future. But you know, it's getting those fundamentals right from the beginning. So even if they've got a side hustle, they've got that business that they're running, what they apply in their personal lives, they need to apply to their business or their side hustle as well. So it's that money in, money out, making sure that you have a spending plan in place. Another word for a budget. Make sure that that's appropriate, that you never have more months at the end of the money than you need.
I like that. I found myself in those situations quite often. So let's avoid that. I appreciate it. Now, apart from basic money management lessons, what age can we start teaching our children about financial protection, such as insurance covers, investments, or educational policies?
No, so again, I mean, that's a whole financial literacy thing, and you want to do it age appropriate. So, and it also depends on the kids as well. So I wouldn't exactly sit a 6-year-old down and tell them about life insurance. It might be a little bit rough for them, but you can talk to them about savings and different types of saving vehicles that are out there. So, saving in a bank, or alternatively open a tax-free savings account for them for, their long-term growth with a unit trust, and talk to them, explain that to them. When you start introducing concepts like insurances, you want to have a slightly older, maybe even a teenager, to have that discussion with them, because it is a heavy concept to understand, purely because their parents is their life, and you don't want to rock that boat talking about life insurance. But again, instilling that early as possible, but in an age-appropriate manner as well.
All right, it seems like we've got the right tools to make these money-wise kids, and certainly a generation that's more responsible with money than what I personally was. We appreciate you, Esther, and we appreciate FNB.
Thank you very much for having us.
And that was Esther Ush, the product head at FNB Money Management. Thank you so much for enlightening us about the ching-ching. Now, if you are a parent and you're looking to teach your kids about money, or even open up their very first account, you can visit the FNB website at fnb.co.za or the FNB app for all the information you need.
We can help you bank safely from the comfort of your home. Download the FNB app. FNB, how can we help you?
Oh, I know that money jar so well. I had a big one, but I hid it in my cupboard. Oh. My brothers didn't naby dit kom nie. That was my jar. And it was for all the skorrelgoed wat ek moes was, everything I had to do.
I actually wish I had learned a bit more about money when I was younger, because I would be very far in my life right now. But I will definitely make sure that I teach my son all the lessons he needs to know, so he doesn't go through as many struggles as I did.
And on that note, funnily enough, hopefully you can raise a son who's going to inspire the rest of South Africans to do incredible things and change the world, as we are celebrating and commemorating all of the strong youths in South Africa from, of course, 1976 all the way to 2020. So let's head over to social media and find out what you guys have to say. So we have got Ubuhle, and Ubuhle used the hashtag Afternoon Express and says it has to be Kwazi Ntsele. He's the most inspiring poet I've ever heard. His work is good in many ways. Young and old heal and get groomed in his work. Hashtag I'm inspired. I kind of like that. We've also got another person here, Lese, who has to agree with Boitumelo by saying, compliments and a hand of applause goes to Miss SA Zosbin Tunzi. She is inspirational to the youth of 2020. Definitely inspirational to the youth of 2020. But ladies, do you know one thing that gets me motivated?
What?
And inspired?
Tell us.
When there's food in my stomach. So do you wanna inspire me in my belly?
Let's inspire you today, Bali. We will definitely inspire you with today's dish, because we are making a triple cooked Hasselbeck.
Okay, delicious.
We are going in today.
Okay, and all of that coming up. Head over to our website if you want to cook along with us.
Clover cheese is for those who love life, where everything falls into place and melts away our cares. Clover, for the love of cheese.
Made with love by Clover. It's a Youth Day Tuesday over here in the Afternoon Express kitchen, and to celebrate Youth Day, we've got a tasty triple-cooked Hasselbeck potato recipe.
I just cannot wait for this. I've never in my life heard about a triple-cooked Hasselbeck potato. I look at it and I'm salivating. I'm completely, and I'm going to take one home tonight.
Please do. Please do.
Thank you. Thank you. So how do you do this?
All right, so to start the process off, I've got some of our potatoes that I boiled.
Already,
but
so
I
it's not
didn't
raw.
Correct, yes. I parboiled them so that they're still solid enough for me to be able to pry them open if I need to. So what I've done is I've got this one that's already prepped, but let me just make some space here so you can see.
And you're not going to skin them or take the skins off?
No, not at all. We're keeping the skins on. So to make it easier for us to make these slits, because we don't want to cut all the way through, I've got some wooden spoons that are going to basically be my barrier between going through until the end. And I'm going to make the slits through the potato. You can make them as thin or as thick as you'd like. The whole idea is just to be able to see these little spaces in between, because we're actually going to fill it as well. So not only are we going to cook these, we're also going to fill them. We're going to make them fully loaded. They're just going to be oozing with tastiness. So now that that's done, I'm going to now go and bread these, because now we're going to fry them.
Wow.
So the first process was to boil them. The second process is to now fry them. Before we fry them, we want to bread this mixture, and it starts off with our flour, then egg, then breadcrumbs. Okay. Let me get this process started here. So I go in, and I like, because of the fact that they're so tight, I like to go in with my fingers and actually just fill them where I can. This is one process. If we talk about a labor of love, this is definitely...
This is definitely labor. What I love about Hasselbecks is like they've got those crispy edges. It's like chips, like I'm eating crispy chips.
Correct.
But then inside is that lovely, fluffy potato.
Correct. Huh? And now to top that, we're making it even tastier by crumbing them, making them even more crunchy on the outside. So once I've put my flour through, I go in with my egg, and then I'm going to go in with my breadcrumbs. And you try as much as you can to get the egg mixture into the center, into the middle of these parts that we've got here. And then we go into our breadcrumbs. If it falls apart, guys, like we mentioned, it is a labor of love. It's okay. It's all going to mush together in the tummy anyway. And then I'm going to use my tongs, because I don't want to get my, I don't want to burn my fingers, to put these into our oil that I've already made. I've preheated. And as a trick that Anel once showed us, I'm going to use a wooden spoon to make sure I test. Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's definitely working.
I'm actually going to turn it down a bit. And then I'm going to go in there with my potato and get it frying.
I'm mesmerized that you're frying a whole potato. It's like next level gourmet loveliness.
I was actually talking to a colleague of ours who was telling me that the reason he's gotten tired of potatoes is because he eats them one way. It's either it's baked potato, it's either it's mashed, or it's roasted. And I'm like, well, here's a new recipe. Try it out.
Like everything in one. While you're doing that, I'm doing butternut Hasselbeck. But I'm going for the sweet version.
Oh, really?
So all you do, look how beautiful this is. Tooms, it looks like a guitar.
It
strings,
does.
Eh? And this is like the sweet one. So I've just mixed some sugar, butter, cinnamon. I'm going to melt it, throw it over in the oven for an hour. And that's it.
Perfect. Yes. And it's such a quick recipe.
Such a quick recipe, yeah.
And the lovely thing about it is that butternut itself is naturally sweet. So you're basically just increasing that sweetness by adding the sugar, but you wouldn't necessarily have to, right?
You can do sugar. No, you have to. This is my recipe. You have to have sugar or honey or syrup, really.
No compromise on that one.
Don't compromise now on this thing.
All right, anyone that would like to get your hands on this recipe, please go onto our website and make sure you get your hands on this one, because this is one tasty recipe. I'm going to go in with my second one. And I'm just going to keep an eye on this one, because I want to
how long do you fry it?
Not too long.
It's already cooked.
Correct. So the whole idea is just to get it nice and crispy on the outside, because you want it nice and golden brown. You don't want it overcooked.
Look at that.
This is what you want. And then because this one that I've made over here, I'm not going to put it back into that bowl. I'm just going to try and pry it open with my fingers here. And then we're going to put the filling in. So let me show you what goes into this. I just told you now that we're going to fill it. Let me show you what goes into it. We've got some sun-dried tomatoes. We've got some basil, and then we're going to top it off with some cheese. But to increase that flavor and to make it even more delicious, because we don't play in the Afternoon Express kitchen, I'm going to brush it all off with the tasty garlic butter.
Woo.
So we've got the garlic, we've got the basil, we've got the sun-dried tomatoes. I mean, talk about levels.
That is like an Italian spud, you know?
Exactly.
Like an Italian deep-fried spud Hasselbeck.
We are taking you around the world in 90 minutes. Well, actually, it's not even 60 minutes. Well, we're taking you around the world either way. So I'm going to mix my butter and garlic together. This is going to be the first step before I go in with the rest of the ingredients here. And then, actually, let me start by filling it first. I'm going to go in with 1 basil leaf.
Basil is so fragrant and beautiful, and it's like a perfect... Basil and tomato got married in culinary world. They're married. If people don't know it, they are married. They belong together, you know.
Oh, you think?
Like chalk and cheese, and like the two of us.
I agree with exactly.
Like the two of us, we
you're
belong
the basil
together.
to my sun-dried tomato.
Oh, yeah, you're the basil to my sun-dried tomato.
All right, so these gaps of mine here are quite tight, but I'm making sure not to go all the way through to the end because we want to make sure that we keep it as a Hasselbeck and not as a mashed potato.
Yeah.
And then, now that this is done, I'm going to top it all off with a bit of cheese. And to make it easier so that the cheese doesn't fall off, I like to take the cheese and then clump it up in my hand like this to make it a bit...
Oh, so,
yeah, so
that is like cheddar.
Correct.
Something like
so
that.
we're using our Clover cheeses today, and I'm using 2 different cheeses. I'm using the Tussers and I'm using the cheddar.
Yes.
So this is basically that flavor bomb that we need for our Hasselbeck potatoes
The cheddar
today.
is a bit stronger than the Tussers. And I would have put some feta cheese on it as well. I also will make it like a... Because it's triply baked, cooked, fried, and some of 3 cheeses.
Yes, go. And then once they're cooked, we've got the Hasselbecks that are cooked and deep fried.
Bring one here. Can I have one, please? Please bring one here.
And delicious and tasty and monate de trois for days.
Oh, yummy. Can I taste this, please?
Do. Let me know what you think.
It's having like a party in my mouth, and I just want to dance.
Oh, please do. Show us your moves. Show us what this potato's making.
This is what it's
Guys,
doing
please
to me.
get dancing. Please get dancing. Get the recipe. You do not want to miss out on this fun. And please do join us tomorrow because we've got another delicious recipe in the Afternoon Express kitchen. What's your sauce? Oh yeah, I've been meaning to ask, what's the sauce on your butternut?
Oh, no. This is like sugar, butter, and cinnamon. I've put it on my butternut. This goes into the oven for an hour.
So the sugar doesn't melt? You don't dissolve the sugar?
It melts on top of it. It goes like... And it's going to become like caramelly and sweet and sticky. You're going to love it.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
All right, so I give you a potato, you give me a butternut.
Yeah.
We even, right?
Yeah.
All right, Palisa, are you ready for supper, gal?
Yes.
Cheese is for those who love life, where everything falls into place and melts away our cares. Clover, for the love of cheese.
Made with love by Clover.
Ladies, I am ready to dine. I'm ready to have a Youth Day celebration in my mouth, it being dinner. Of course, at home, a lot of people are going to be enjoying dinner with their loved ones, enjoying dinner. Oh, thank you, my love. As soon as you finish dishing for yourself, you can just put a child dish. They're enjoying lunch, you know, and dinner with their loved ones, and that's exactly what we're doing here. But we have asked you on social media, you know, who has got you going, who's got that blood pumping and inspiring you when it comes to youths in South Africa. So if we head over to social media, we've got Ulwazi. And Ulwazi says, #Afternoon Express. My favorite young people are the class of 2020 matriculants of South Africa. They're faced with the COVID-19 pandemic, but are still so positive about passing their studies. They still haven't lost hope. Big ups to them. I mean, how do you feel about that, Anele? We've got South Africans here, young matriculants in school, and they said, you know what? School or no school, we are passing. COVID or no COVID, we are passing.
That is what we need in this country, you know, is that positive energy. And they want the challenge because it must be extremely challenging for them to go through this. But they're just doing it.
I fully agree. Yeah. I fully agree because like the youth of 1976, we are now looking at the youth of 2020. They are also making a mark that the youth in years to come will be looking back at.
And that's that on that. I love that. Okay, well said. I have to read one more just before we wrap up this conversation. We've got Umalume Carlos who says, hi, ladies. Wiseman Mkuno. Utiwa Wiseman Mkuno, young actor most known in Uzalo. He really inspires me and I look up to him. He does not only focus on his career, but also his one and only daughter, which only few can do, especially at such a young age. I really wish many people, especially men, can look up to him and take care of their children instead of going around, you know, impregnating women and not taking responsibility. Phansi ngamadoda abanganaka abasifazane. Phansi. And on that note, Mzansi, sithi phansi to all things that are just not working, right? And rise up to all the brave young South Africans. We celebrate you, we salute you here on Afternoon Express as we cheers you all the way. Now, we hope that you enjoyed our Youth Day, Mzansi. Join us again tomorrow as we take a deeper look into diabetes with singer Holly Ray. Again, good night, stay safe and happy eating.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Nada. Feel Good production.